Welcome to the Codependent Knitters Podcast. This is our first podcast, and we're really happy that you're watching, and we hope there's someone out there watching, or else this is kind of silly, but we're just going to assume we do have friends and family that love us and will watch our podcast. I'm Dawn.
I'm Lisa.
And we live in Sarnia, Ontario, and we've been knitting. How long have you been knitting?
My mother taught me when I was really young. I used to knit in circles, and then she'd do all the color work on the sweaters from the 80s. You know?
Yeah.
So we did those for the whole family. My mom taught me. She did teach me when I was younger, but I never really became interested until I was older. And then probably the last 15 years, I've been knitting like crazy. So.
Wow. And same thing. My mom taught me when I was a little kid, and then I, didn't knit for a while, and then knit off and on, and then I had a crochet spell when all my friends were having kids. I have one. All my friends were having kids, and so I crocheted baby blankets for just about everyone. And then I got back into knitting for a bit, probably about 15 years ago. Then I moved to Sarnia. So I moved to Sarnia just 4 years ago, and I met Lisa through a mutual friend who invited me for lunch. Hey? Yeah, a mutual friend who's not a knitter, and she invited me to a lunch. She was going out for lunch with a bunch of moms from her kids' school, and so she said, "Come for lunch and meet some people." So that's when Lisa walked in.
I was probably wearing the scarf. It was winter.
Yeah, and I remember you had a gray slouchy toque on, and big winter boots, and probably a sweater that you made too. And I just thought, okay, this chick looks really cool. I could hang with her. And then I think we were both showed up at our friend's house just for a visit, and you had knitting there.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Like, you knit?
You knit?
Oh.
Yeah. And then I went to our local yarn shop, Heaven is Handmade, on their knit night. And I thought, I'm just going to go out and I'm going to, go knit and meet some people. And you were there. So
I can't help it.
And I've actually met quite a few of my friends now in Sarnia through knitting and through mutual friends of yours, and also just people that I met at the yarn shop and have become good friends. So it's a
great place for that.
Yeah. And anywhere you go, if you need to meet people and just get out and do something, if you're in a new town or even if you're on vacation, find out if there's a local yarn shop or even just a get-together group.
I used to say that when I moved here. When I moved to Sarnia, there was no knit store.
So what did you...
I just about curled into a corner and cried.
You had to knit in isolation.
I did all by myself. But it's funny because they opened the year that we moved here.
Okay.
We moved here in April and they opened in November. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. That was handy.
Yeah. It's a great store. It's our local yarn shop. They have all kinds of stuff, and there's always people there knitting. They often have classes, and the classroom is available if you just want to drop in and knit during business hours. If there's no class going on, you can drop in and knit, and it's great because there's always, coffee's always on, and there's always people around to chat with and hang out with and knit. So that's our background. Actually, what I have, when I learned to knit, my mom taught me to knit on double points. Well, no, she probably taught me on regular needles, but then later I learned to knit mittens. And so I learned to knit double points and do a little bit of color work and a thumb gusset. And I kind of just knit a lot of mittens and scarves for a while. So, I already knew how to graft, which I like. You have a history with grafting.
I totally have it now. I'm all good.
Okay.
I'm all good.
So, and my grandmother was a knitter and very crafty. And I remember my mom saying that when she was younger, my grandmother used to make those big, like the buffalo wool, the big, really super chunky wool, right? The sweaters that have the pattern around them, and they often have like an animal head or some kind of a like a design, right? Yeah, like that. Yeah, that kind. And so I think my mom had to help with parts of that. She would do some of the work on my grandma. Like she would make sweaters for her. Yeah, and she'd be making sweaters for like all the curling teams in town, right? They all wanted their own matching sweaters.
Not like another codependent.
Yeah. So, and then when I was knitting mittens, I hate doing the thumbs because they're so quick and easy, but it's just at that point, I'm like, oh, I got to put just a few stitches on all these needles and finish these thumbs, and I hated doing it. So I used to make my mom finish my thumbs when she came to visit.
I love it.
So I haven't done mittens for a while.
So that's like me. Can you do my grafting for me?
Yeah. Do the grafting. Yeah, so that's our history of our own personal journey in knitting. I also crochet from time to time. I've been on a crochet hiatus for a while, but I'm doing crochet along, which I'll show you in a bit. So I'm back doing a little bit of crochet.
I want to learn how.
Yeah,
I would like to learn how because I like to make little stuffies.
And if you're a knitter, crocheting, well, I've only been I learned to knit first and then crochet. So, but I taught my mom to crochet. And I think if you already can do one of those things, picking the other up is quite easy. So you'll have no problem with crochet.
That'll be my goal.
Yeah, you'll have no problem. Crochet is, I think, a little maybe even easier in that you don't have to be as concerned about tension. Your tension's like with knitting, you want to do some scrap projects first, like some dishcloths and stuff, just to get your tension consistent, right? With crochet, it's not as much of an issue. And if you make a mistake, you can just tear back one stitch at a time. Right? And it's only one. You don't, if you drop a stitch, who cares? You dropped one stitch. You didn't wreck your whole project. So it's kind of forgiving in that way, especially if you're a new learner. Okay, so we are going to start off talking about...
Let's talk about our favorite thing that I ever made.
Our favorite thing you ever made. Okay, what's your favorite thing?
My favorite thing I ever made is my fiddlehead mittens.
Those are beautiful.
And I wear these all the time in the winter. They're really nice. Look this way.
Those are beautiful.
So they're actually lined, and it was the first time I ever lined a pair of mittens. So it's kind of nice.
So you have to do 2 mittens and then stick one.
No, actually what you do is you do a I-cord cast on.
Yeah.
And then you knit this mitten, and then you pick up the I-cord cast on and knit the other one. So it all fits in perfectly.
And then just turn it into the other one.
Yes.
So turn it inside, the one on inside out. So it's joined, so you don't have to seam it.
Exactly.
But color work, and then this lining. Does the lining come out? Oh, yeah, it does.
It does, if you pull on it.
I'm not going to do that.
That's okay.
I'll never get it back in.
Like this before, I can do it again.
Okay, awesome. Those are beautiful. And this is, did you change colors or is it a striping?
No, it's all color work. There are 3 different skeins, not including the lining, of all organic, naturally occurring colors of alpaca.
Beautiful.
My husband calls them my $1 million mittens. But,
Those are beautiful. So, yeah. But they're worth it, right?
Oh,
they're
warm. So worth it. They're warm. And the pattern is
durable.
Ravelry. It's by Hello Yarn. It's Adrian. I'm not sure how to say her last name. Okay. But she goes by Hello Yarn.
Okay. We'll do show notes and we will put them in our Ravelry group. Oh, we didn't say that we will have a Ravelry group by the time this show goes live. So we will put show notes in our Ravelry group with any patterns, yarns, stores, whatever that we talk about. We'll put them in show notes, so we will have that. And alpaca, you can't beat alpaca for softness.
I know. And you know what? They're actually heavy. They're heavy.
They are.
They've
got some. They're dense, but not.
They're very dense.
But not
That's
stiff. It's nice soft fabric, but it's not. But it's Mm-hmm. So that will keep you warm.
Of course, the one thing I'm
all
over town.
Love that.
It was a funny story. My husband and I were out shopping, and there was a store and they had this multicolored acrylic knit scarf about this thick. And I said, "Oh, I want to buy that." He goes, "Really? You're gonna buy a scarf? Why?" So we ended up getting all of the Dale of Norway's. I think there's 18 colors in it, and so with all my extra from my scarf, I made a second scarf, a couple of kids' sweaters, and everything else. But it's still my favorite scarf. So that's pretty much
the $1 million scarf.
Yeah, we don't tell them how much it was.
Oh, that's good. We like probably a lot of knitters. We kind of keep our stash. Well, it's not secret because it's here. Mine's here in my room, most of it. But I don't talk so much about what it cost. Although my husband goes out. He's when he's at work, he tends to go out for lunch usually at least once a week. So I usually say, okay, your lunch out this week is a skein of yarn. So it's really, I'm not going out for lunch every week.
My husband just says it's better than heroin.
It's better than a heroin addiction. Yeah. So. It's productive.
Yeah. And
non-destructive.
It keeps our daughter warm. So
exactly. Yeah. Okay. And then in terms of other finished objects, I'm wearing this today. It's quite a nice sunny day here, but actually it's going to be sent to my mom. I finished it and she loved it. So this is...
Close your eyes, Mom. Don't look.
No, she's not. Okay. That's what she said. Oh, I love the colors.
Okay.
So,
oh, sure.
I forget I will look up the name of the shawl. I'm just drawing a total blank on it.
Belvedere?
Oh yeah, it came with, it's the one,
Yeah,
right,
that's
right.
right.
So the shawl is called Belvedere, and it came with the yarn. So this, if I can get it
It's grays and different greens.
up close.
And a little bit of teal in there.
It's hard to see. It's almost a mossy green. It's not showing well on the camera, but it's a mossy green, and there's, yeah, a hint of mauve, and it, I don't know, you can kind of see the sparkle from the distance, right? It's got some sparkle in it, just subtle, and some lace sections, and it's 100% rayon. It wasn't cheap. It was from Signature Yarns. I believe it's Blue Heron. But I bought it at the Signature Yarns booth at the Toronto Knitters Frolic a year ago, and which is another story. Yeah, so you can tell the story because you took me.
I've been going to knitting shows for quite a while now, and I asked Dawn and another friend that had taken up knitting, do you want to come to the, it was at the Japanese Cultural Center, and it was the Knitters Frolic, which is in Toronto, and they're like, oh, sure. So I said to them, I said, okay, so what we're going to do, because it's your first time, we're going to case the place and see where we want to go back to before we spend our money. That didn't work so well. Dawn hit the first room, and she was really excited. So, yeah, but no, it was fun, and I think if it was my first show, it might have been a little overwhelming.
A little.
But it was kind of...
It wasn't my first ever show, but it was pretty big, and big rooms, and yeah. So I actually picked up a different kind of a grayish blue for me, and then I saw this color hanging on the rack, which is not normally my colors, and I just thought, oh, I love those colors, they're so neat. So I bought it. So I knit this up, and my mom, who is in Manitoba, saw my picture when I posted it and said she loved the colors, and I thought, okay, you can have it because I have yarn to make another one. So it's 100% rayon. It's got nice drape. It's very nice drape. It's got a nice weight to it. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I didn't even block it. I don't think I needed to because it's, how do you get this on the camera? There. So yeah, it's beautiful. So a little too warm for today, but I did want to show it because it's now going to go into the mail to Manitoba. And then talking about other favorite things we've made, this was I just did this in the winter. It was going to be a sock head hat, so I started making the hat, and I just loved the yarn, and the colors are not showing well here. The color, it's actually a dark teal, and this is like a purple.
Deep ocean.
Yeah.
Like it's like
just rich, yeah, deep ocean blue. Teal, there's some gold, and it perfectly matches his snowsuit, which he just grew out of, but it matched last year's snowsuit. And then I loved the yarn so much, and I liked how it was kind of patterning here. So I thought, I'm going to keep going and do a stocking cap. So I did that and just did some periodic decreases and made a little pom-pom for the end. And he loved it, which is great.
That's all
And I love it. Yeah. And so the yarn is Jitterbug by Colinette, and I got it from Porch Swings Yarnsomniac booth. I bought a couple at different shows. So this one was either from the Woodstock show 2 years ago or the Kitchener Waterloo last fall. Might have been the Kitchener one last fall, right? I bought this, but I do have some others. Okay. Yeah. Awesome booth. I haven't been to their shop in Toronto, but they're great ladies, and they had some really vibrant yarns there. It was great.
So, on the sock head.
Yeah.
I have a sock head.
You're a sock head fanatic.
Sock head is a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's Kelly McClure. And I made this with the Misty Alpaca. I have a gray thing.
That's gorgeous. Oh, yeah. She knits all in gray. Almost all in gray.
So there's that one, and it's all Misty Alpaca hand paint, which unfortunately has been discontinued, I think.
Yeah.
So there's that one.
This is
and
soft.
I have another one on the go. The only thing is I don't make them as slouchy as she has them because,
I think the pattern has both versions, right? Like it has just a cap and then a slouchy.
No, it's all slouchy.
Oh, okay.
I just cut back on the length of it, but yeah.
Yeah, because and then just don't make it as
my daughter loves them.
These are so soft.
Well,
perfect.
Alpaca, right? So
yep. And you have another one on the go.
And I always have one on the go.
This is pretty. It's got
purples.
They'll
laugh at me at the
purples, greens.
Hairdresser because I work under
a little bit of pink. You can do that.
I can.
Okay. Yeah. So those were some of our favorite things. Oh, my other one was
Ooh, I like this one.
Lily Pilly. So it was the winter before last. A bunch of girls at the yarn shop were talking about the Wednesday night knit group. A bunch of people were talking about Lily Pilly, which is a pattern by Amba O'Brien, who is notorious for, she makes beautiful, they're more wraps than shawls, and they tend to be very long and generous, and they usually have garter and lace. And so I heard through you that there was a group thinking about doing Lily Pilly. And when you first showed me when I first looked up the pattern, I didn't like it because it was the sample picture, right? It was like a gray, maybe a black and a white or a gray and a white with like a bold red for the lace section. And I thought, that's not, I don't like the two different colors. And, you know, I'm not creative enough to think about, what else I could do. So I looked through some of the projects that other people had done, and I saw someone had done it in just tonal grays. And I thought, bingo, that is me. That looks really nice. So then I found this yarn, which is Cascade Heritage Wave. I need to come this way. Cascade Heritage Wave, and fingering, actually it's a sock yarn, and it's just gradient, and it's not tonal, it's gradient. It changes colors on its own, and it's just beautiful. So there's light sections, dark sections. You can kind of see a dark section there. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do it. So I actually modified mine slightly. I made it a little bit narrower, and this is a favorite for me, first of all, because I love the color, but also it's my first true lace knitting project. Like, this sectional lace is just beautiful, and not as hard as you might think, or not as hard as I thought it would be.
I have to try that.
And I also learned to chart, or to read charts, instead of reading like these mega lines of how to do lace. Like, forget it. If you're reading if you had to read the details of how to do this pattern repeat, just reading the text, it is so confusing, and it would be so slow. So I made myself learn how to read the chart, and I love it. I would encourage anyone, to get some help if you need to, have someone explain it to you, but learn to read charts for lace knitting, and it's a life changer.
For cables too.
Yeah. And the other thing that happened was I learned kind of the hard way about lifelines. Like, why did no one tell me that beforehand? So the girls at the yarn shop, after I talked about how I had ripped back a few times, why don't you put a lifeline in? What's a lifeline? Duh. So all you do is run scrap, like waste yarn, through your stitches, and then keep going. And if you have to tear back, you only have to tear back to that part. So when
mark on your chart
where you did it. So when I did the lace section, it's actually, I think it was like a 10 or a 12 row repeat, 12 stitch, 10 rows, something like that. So I actually did a lifeline at the end of every lace repeat. Yeah, and I did two. I just ran two. So when I got to the next one, I pulled out the one below. Yeah, and that way, I only had to tear back 10 rows. And this is a really nice lace chart because every second row you just purl back. So it's really easy to go back to that point and then continue on the lace your next section. So that's a favorite. It's very typical Amba. It is long. It was 7 feet long, I think, and I tried not to block it aggressively because it was so huge, but I wanted to open up that lace. So it's really nice for the cold days because you can really wrap it around and around and around and keep yourself warm. So that's projects we've done. Favorites. We were going to talk stash, and Lisa, we're at my house, and Lisa forgot to bring Summer for stash, so you can do it next time. Just recent stash. So
I like that one. That was my favorite.
This one?
Yeah, it's my favorite.
So this is,
I don't like color.
This was my first, no, that's not true. It was my second hedgehog. I have another one. It's darker with speckles. But this was a splurge. I was in the store. I got this from Feather Your Nest, which is another store in Sarnia that is a lot of home decor and accessories, but she has a really nice, and chocolate. Oh my gosh, yes. Amazing chocolate. She has a nice little corner in the back of the store with assorted yarns, really nice luxury yarns, and she has this year brought in hedgehogs, so I went to check it out. If you ever tell yourself, I'm just going to go check out the hedgehog, you're going to leave with hedgehog. It's just, you can't not. So I picked up this, which I think the colors are looking pretty good. There's all different colors. This actually looks,
I actually like the name.
It's actually pink. It looks purpley here, but it's actually a pink, and I don't know if we can.
It looks like a hot fuchsia.
It is. It's really, so yeah, the name is Heyday, and it is twist sock, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it, and I'm probably going to hoard it and just cherish it for a while, but it's really nice. Collect it.
Like hockey cards.
Yes. Yeah, it's like hockey cards for, hockey fans.
That's
so,
nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So that's a fairly new addition. I also got, this is the Malabrigo. Sorry for the colors not really coming as true, but it's got burgundy, purples, reds, blues. There's some green in here. You can see the blues and greens here. And it's the Anniversario colorway, which they put out this year. So it's kind of a special edition, which, okay, if you tell me something is special edition, limited time, you can never get it again, ever, 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 I will probably have to have it. Addiction. So yeah, because it's beautiful. So I do like it. I wouldn't buy something just because it's limited edition if I don't like it, but I liked it. And I actually bought it a while back in a heavier weight, I think a sport.
Wasn't there a blue one from the year before?
Oh, don't tell me that. I'll have to try and find it. So I got it in the sport, and actually my skein of sport weight has a little more blues and greens, and this one's a lot more reds and pinks. Yeah, and I love them both. So I when this came in sock weight, I got it from Little Red Mitten in St. Thomas. So when it came in sock weight, I was on a wait list. I had them notify me, and then a friend picked it up for me. So that's fairly new and cherished. And then I have a couple new indie dyer yarns, and this is totally inked yarn. Okay. So she's an indie dyer here in Sarnia, and I have a few of her yarns. This one, actually, I had asked her to make me a speckle. I wanted a summer speckle to do the May sock bash knit along from the Grocery Girls. And I thought I'm going to do Rose City Rollers. I knew I was wanting to make those for summer, and I wanted a speckle. So at first, she made this one, which is absolutely beautiful. I just wanted more colors. I wanted some pinks in there and some yellows. So this one she named Breaking Dawn. Thank you, Vanna. So she named this Breaking Dawn, and it wasn't the speckle I wanted, but it's beautiful, and it's just amazing blues and purple, and like I'm drawn to these blue, aqua, turquoisey colors. Even though I wear darker colors, I'm drawn to these in yarn. So I picked that up just because I loved it, even though it wasn't the speckle I want. And then she did make a speckle for me.
The speckles, I like the speckle.
I love the speckle. So it's wound because I just finished knitting, and I'll show you that in a minute. But it's got. It's on my photographs in the project in Ravelry. There's a little bit of purple, a little bit of blue, a little bit of yellow, pink, all kinds of colors in here. And this is exactly what I had in mind. So she made this one. It's called Toppings, and I believe she's going to make more because I bought some, and then some friends bought some when they saw it. And so I have done finished socks on this. Not this one because it's not gray. So
I was gonna ask her if she'd do one in gray.
Oh, I'm sure she would. Yeah, totally. So that's totally inked yarns.
She does a great job. They're really pretty.
She does,
and they
yes.
feel really soft.
And if you are a spinner, she does, I think she might have started with fiber, but she does a lot of fiber. And then she got into the bases and doing different yarns. And I heard her mention.
She mentioned that you named one.
Oh, yeah, I named one. So I have it. It's, hang on, I'll grab it. This one. She often puts up new colors on her Facebook page, and she'll say, "Oh, help me with the name for this one." So she had colors up one night, and this is hot. Like this is as hot pink as you can probably get, and hot nice. Like a hot turquoise blue. Yeah, and a very dark. It's not quite black, maybe navy, but she put up a picture of this, and so my name suggestion was Paris Nightclub, and then she picked that as the name. So I had to buy some because I named it. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but again. And this is a superwash merino. The awesome hat.
How would it be?
Yeah.
There's a socket pattern.
And there's a socket pattern. And then the toppings is merino nylon for socks. Mm-hmm. And Breaking Dawn also was a merino nylon because that's initially what I had asked her for, some sock yarn. She had talked about a cashmere blend. I have been to pick up yarn, and she has had like silk, like fiber for spinning. She's had silk out drying. So her colors are amazing. And you can go on her Etsy store and see what she currently has. But if you go on her Facebook page and like her Facebook page and look back through her history of like her photo history, there's going to be a cat fight in here. They're fighting over the bench. If you look back through her photo history, you will see colorways she has done. And, she will make you something you want if you don't see it. But, we love supporting.
She did a really nice gray and pink one.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah, what was that one called?
Gum on Your Shoes.
Sorry,
I named that one too, so I might have to buy that one. That's a new one. So it's on our Etsy shop.
It's gray.
It's a really nice medium gray, and then there's like a bubblegum pink. And so I looked and I was like, oh, it's like Gum on Your Shoes. So Sonia has a really great sense of humor, and she liked that name. So that's what it's called. And I probably won't get it now because I've just told everyone it's on Etsy. But she does have some on Etsy, so you can pick that up. And then the other, this one. So we also have a new area, Indie. She's Petrolia, actually, I think. Yeah. Indie Dyer. And I just found out about this on Country Yarn's email, I think she sent out, and she was talking about some new locally dyed yarn, which is like magnet, pulled me right there, like a tractor beam, right? So I went to check it out, and of course, what did I find? Blues, purples, speckles.
Go figure.
I hope it shows. It's
really pretty.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
The blues are a little more.
Over here, you can really speckle. Yeah.
I need to come this way.
I know, we gotta go the opposite.
If you pull back, the pinks look a little pinker because there's a lot of pink, not just purple in here. If we open that up.
But it's not like
So it's really pretty, and it feels very nice. So this is just 100% fine Highland wool, and hand wash. That's fine. I'm learning to do that, and it's called Yarn and Whatnot, and she has an Etsy shop. And I believe she's getting set up with a shop on Ravelry. So I want to be able to put this in my stash and link it to her shop in Ravelry, like have her have a proper yarn company page, right? So that anyone who sees it can go there. I like to promote these crafters and make sure that the world knows about their amazing work. So this is another new one. So that's all I need to talk about today. Oh, and then we were going to talk about our most precious in our stash. So this is probably, may not be the priciest. It's close. It's not terrible. This is Cherry Salamander, 100% silk. Like if you could feel through a computer.
Feel-o-vision.
Oh my gosh, 100% silk. There's 750 meters in this skein, so it's kind of it's a lace weight, I think. Yeah, it's definitely a lace weight. And it's by Saracen Silkworks. And I picked it up at the Woodstock, the first Woodstock, which was the one I went to 2 years ago, at the Woodstock Fleece Festival. I believe she's from Waterloo. So she's Canadian, Waterloo, and she has amazing blends. Like there's silk blends, there's, what other fibers did she have? Do you remember? It wasn't just silk, like really
she had
cashmere silk, but there was some really different stuff too. Yeah. So this I bought, and you helped me pick the color because I was looking at something else. So this is the first skein of probably anything pinky rosy that I had. Which,
I love the color. It doesn't
but I love it. It's muted, right?
It reminds me of
it's very
cherry
subtle.
blossoms.
Yeah, it's like beautiful.
Yeah.
So, and it's tonal, and you just get all those different shades. So there was a scarf pattern that one of the people in her booth was wearing. Did
you get that back?
I favorited it. I don't know if I bought it, but it's in my favorites. Like, it might even be in my queue. And we went to another store where I found beads in kind of a champagne color. So I've got...
And they were clear champagne too, weren't
they? I don't know where they are. No, they've got the silver lining.
Oh, yeah. So the scarf are really nice too. That's good then.
Hang on a second. I have them here because they were stored with this. So they're actually, that's not really champagne. It almost looks like a chocolatey color. Yeah, bronze. So anyways, it will totally complement, you can't tell the colors on there, but it'll totally complement this if I decide to do a beaded one. Mary Maxim, maybe? No, I don't remember if it was a booth or if it was at Mary Maxim.
That's pretty much, but they're really pretty together.
Mary Maxim in London.
Like they were meant to be.
I know. So this is like, yeah, this is probably my most posh yarn right now, I think, in my stash. Okay, that's a lot of stash.
I didn't bring my stash, like she said, but I brought some things that
you talked about some finished object. We talked about our most favorite things. Yeah. You have some other finished objects.
I do. I have.
Do you want to talk about other new things we have?
That's fine. I want to talk about these.
Yeah. Go.
So I love doing color work. I know I wear a lot of gray, but I love doing color work. So I actually would like to do some of these.
You bought that book about a year.
For a little bit.
Okay. I remember
But
you
it's
talking
really,
about it.
Some of them are just, they're beautiful. They're gorgeous. If you ever get a chance to look at this book, go for it.
They're all color work? Are there is it all
It's all in the round.
in the round? There's no intarsia. It's all like Fair Isle style.
It's all pretty much Fair Isle because they're just small little.
Beautiful.
And they have graphs. So
I love it how they're in like kind of vintagey colors, like cream and the cream and red, cream and navy. Yeah. It's just really traditional looking. So you're gonna make some of those?
I'm gonna make some of those.
Have you made any yet?
No, but now that I said it, I have to do it.
You have to do it.
That was my thought process. And then we went to Feather Your Nest on last week. It was last week. And I wanted to get one of these, but it was so hard to get them here in Canada when it first came out. So I got the second edition of Lane magazine, which is absolutely gorgeous. It's beautiful. The patterns in there are wearable. The quality is really good.
Magazine is
it's not really a
misnomer.
For
it's a book.
And the photography is just
beautiful.
It's phenomenal.
So how many patterns are in that magazine?
I'm not sure now.
There's quite a few.
There's quite a few. So about, I think it's like a 10 or 11. Could be wrong.
Maybe more. So this is a quality product, and it's a pattern book. You get that many patterns with it, and it's definitely done on quality paper, so it's not gonna, get all destroyed like a normal off-the-shelf magazine.
It's got different types. It's got a dress in it. I like the dress. The dress is kind of neat. Do you see that one?
Yes, the dress is really nice. Yeah,
it's
just very plain.
How do you say that? Brioche shawl. That's really pretty.
Yes.
It's not really colorful, but that's okay.
But you could do it in whatever colors you want. Yeah. You could make brioche tonal or go totally contrast.
Yeah. And it does it, it talks about different things that inspired the designer. So
there's a little write-up. I love this.
Oh, yeah, the Birds of a Feather.
Show that. Okay, this is a new wrap by Andrea Mowry, I believe.
Andrea?
Drea Knits.
Which is the business. Drea Renee Knits or something.
Okay, but isn't she the one that...
But she did the, her name is
Andrea Mowry. She is the author of Find Your Fade, which is one of the hottest patterns right now. And so this is...
that one actually uses mohair. And,
oh, really?
I think she uses the twist sock or the sock from Hedgehog.
It's beautiful. The sample, like the one in the photo, has some speckle and some solid sort of... I love that because it's not... really contrasting stripes. I'm not a big stripy girl if it's really bold contrast. She's the stripy one. She loves garter stitch. I do not. But I've given into it in shawls because it's just so squishy and edges don't curl and it's just easy.
Yeah, so she uses the Skinny Singles by Hedgehog Fibers and the Kids Silk Lace.
Nice.
So it gives it
beautiful.
The lace will give it a kind of a lighter feel.
Yeah.
And those sections and then bright colors. So.
Yeah, so that's a beautiful book. And there's Lane just came out with a new one. Pom Pom has a new
Making
is a new one.
Right.
A new I want to say not episode. What's the word? Edition. Version.
Yeah.
A new edition.
I think Making's had 3.
Okay, which we hope there are still copies left. We're going to Knit Stitch in London on Wednesday, and I know they have some in stock if they aren't gone. So we're hoping to be, I at least want to see it. And then also Rib is a new magazine. I think they have a couple of editions out. And it's for men. Yeah, it's by men, and it's all knitting for men. So patterns written for men. And again, same high quality paper, amazing photography, great patterns, and just a really nice publication. So they shouldn't call them magazines. They should just, but yeah, they're beautiful.
I keep coming out.
I know. So, I mean, I don't do a lot of knitting for men because he who shall not be named doesn't want me to knit for him.
So, and I'm not knitting for my husband. He is 6'5" and very broad.
You have to buy so much. You can knit him hats. You can have hats and socks.
I do. No, he doesn't like them.
Doesn't like
the
socks.
Like the feel of wool.
Okay.
Yeah, which is kind of funny. But he's very patient. And he knows whenever we go anywhere, I have to have my knitting with me. Especially if it's a long drive and then it's like a big duffel bag of knitting.
Yeah, I don't like driving anymore.
You know why?
I want to be the passenger so I can knit.
He'll carry all my knitting as long as it keeps you going.
Nice.
Are we there yet?
Nice.
Yet? Oh yeah, he'll carry it all out. Just getting stuff.
Okay, so those are new. I have this is my new Mrs. Brown's bags, project bag. Yeah. So Mrs. Brown's bags is a woman named Jody who lives in Edmonton who makes these bags. She buys the yarn, knits a big swatch, photographs it, sends it to a company that prints it on fabric, and then makes her bags. I mean, that's an incredible amount of craft and time and effort, and they're really nice bags. She has a couple of different sizes, and I think she has done some drawstring ones too in the past. I don't know if she's got any right now. She's on Etsy, and she is one of the grocery girls, so that's another favorite podcast, and she often features her bags. So this one is called I think it's called the Scrappy Bag because it is actually different scraps of different fabrics. Yeah, so each side. So you get what you get, and there's different. They're just the leftover scraps from when she's made other bags. And I love that because I get all kinds of different colors in one bag. So this popped up on her Etsy shop not too long ago, and I snapped it up. So love it. And it's big. Like this is the 2 or 3 skein one, I think. So, and then the other thing is what I keep in this bag has to be worthy of traveling in a Mrs. Brown bag. So I'm making this is a good transition into our works in progress maybe.
Okay.
Or no, you still have to talk about those. But basically, I have a pair of socks for a friend that are ongoing. That's one's done. It's a yoga sock, and it's just my favorite project right now. And it's beautiful yarn, so that's worthy. That's the friend that introduced us, our friend Shauna. Yeah. So that's my new bag. I love it because my other bags have been. I have a lot of the 31 gifts. They're just zippered tote bags, and so they're. Pretty affordable, and I have a friend in the neighborhood that sells 31 gifts, and so I have bought some from her. And I also have a lot of very inexpensive project bags made by Ziploc, and you can get those anywhere.
You can buy those.
You can get those anywhere. And they don't come in a lot of different colors, but
a lot of mine are
zigzag stitches.
She's another local girl. She's amazing.
Show this one while we're talking about bags. Yes, she's local.
She does the square.
You see her at all the shows.
And there's, I have a telephone book one actually.
That's a good one.
Telephone booth. That one's really cute.
Yeah.
And the thing I love about it, this is my sock one. It's
you have to show this so that people can see you unzip it. Okay. So yeah, I like that it opens like this.
Like it opens.
Look how much it holds. That's a couple pairs of socks.
It is. Yeah. Because I do mine 2 at a time, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So you need a big bag.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I love that.
Yeah, so that she's
a bunch of those. You'll see a bunch of these pop up.
We'll put her in the show notes, but it's Zigzag Stitches. She has an Etsy store.
She has an Etsy store. She's also on Instagram.
She's on Instagram. She's in all the shows.
And she's also Zigzag Stitches on Ravelry.
Okay. And you can find her in most stores, at least here in southwestern Ontario.
St. Thomas has
she's carried in a lot of stores.
She's actually in Montreal too.
Yeah, and she not just bags. She also does. I don't know where it is, but these little they're needle cases. So it's a little rectangle it's like a folder. It's open on the inside.
They don't have to be
oh yeah. The needle holders are awesome because you can put your double points inside and snap it closed so they don't fall out in your bag. And you can also use it for circulars. So yeah, I have one somewhere too, but I can't find it. But they're an awesome thing to have in your toolkit. You're still talking. We have not talked about
We're talking about the friend that introduced us.
Yeah, our friend Shauna.
She is actually moving away. Sad day.
Yeah.
But, so she's going to become an expat.
Yes, she's leaving us.
And I wanted to give her something that was kind of reminded her of Canada. So I thought this would be kind of...
That's awesome.
Perfect. My little...
The Hudson Bay Point blanket hat.
Stripes. So yeah, so she's pretty stoked. I've already given it to her because...
So did you take it back, or is this a second?
I took it back
to show it. Can we have her knitting back, please?
Please, I give you.
I love it.
A big monster sweater.
These are perfect colors. Like you found, were they supposed to be Hudson's Bay? Like
no, I picked them out.
You just picked them out, but you picked out like you found.
Actually, the green is a bit wrong, but I don't like the green they use. So
I love it. Yeah, and this is actually a dark navy.
Mm-hmm.
And the gold is perfect. Love it. And the cream. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You might have to make
I have so much left over. I'm doing one with navy, so they'll be correct.
Do you have it here? It looks really good. I've seen it.
Oh look, another bag. Yeah, so this is the other one.
Yeah. Awesome.
I went through.
You're gonna do one in every color, like a green one,
probably
a red.
will, because I have tons of it left over. Or I know a girl that's going to do a baby.
And look at this bag. Okay, this is how these bags. When you look at it like this, it's just a little rectangle, like smaller than a shoebox. When you open this up, she's got every color in there, plus her project, right?
Yeah.
Plus there's room for a few tools. Oh, there's a pocket. Look at that. A little pocket on the inside, right? Stick your scissors in there and whatever else you need.
She always makes funny.
That is so roomy.
When I buy one, I like to look at the inside because there's always something kind of related. This one here has butterflies and owls on the outside. So.
Okay.
So that's really
awesome. Yeah. Oh, and this hat.
Oh, and this hat. I have a hat thing.
She does hats.
Yeah, I get cold ones.
I have a shawl thing. She has a hat thing.
This is swept by Shannon Cook.
You can wear
really
hats.
Cute.
I can't wear hats.
Yeah.
That is really cute. Turn your head sideways so they can see there's a bit of lace in here.
It's kind of like a chevron pattern.
And then some garter stitch patterning. Yeah, it's really cute. Did it make a pattern on the crown and down? Oh, it looks like a star, like a little flower. I love that. Very nice. Ta-da. Ta-da. And it's gray.
It's gray. This one is mine. I made a blue one for my daughter.
Oh, nice.
And she loves it. So, yeah.
You'll have to, on the next episode, you'll have to bring that color work hat you did for her. In the blue and the white.
Yeah, with the snowflake on the top.
That was a beautiful one.
It's called a Snowhead or something. Heat or something. It's Kate.
Nice. So you have to bring that. Because
bowl.
I never saw it finished.
It's in that itchy bowl.
The itchy bowl? I'm a texture girl. I will buy yarn sometimes, if I like the color, but also just if it feels really nice. So I have not been as into the rough, like the, I don't say rough.
I don't know if I would say, like the traditional.
Like the not super wash, right? Mm-hmm. Just 100% wool. And there are some that are still really soft. And then there are others that are a little more rustic. But I don't gravitate to those as much. But you really like knitting with those.
I do because, well, when you do color work, it's nice that they stick together. Mm-hmm. So that's a big thing. Jameson does that really, really well. I'd like to go out to the Jameson store here in Ontario.
Is that where we're going? No, we're going somewhere else. No, we'll talk about that later. I have events. We'll talk about events, including our road trip.
Yeah. Okay. So I like using that kind of stuff. I do like traditional knitting. But
nice. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully nobody's. I don't know why. I have a cat that's meowing about something, but whatever. Okay. I'm just gonna pause and I'm gonna go see what's going on because I wonder if she got locked in a room or something. So 1 second. We're back. Lisa's. I'm not tall. Lisa's not really not tall. So we actually have her so that we look a little more balanced. We have her on a cushion. And she was just thinking that she might have to bring her daughter's booster seat next time. Just to give you a little lift.
Give me a little lift.
So yeah, cat crisis has been resolved. She
good.
Just wanted attention, I think. Got some tea here. This is a thing. A lot of podcasters drink tea. We like tea. I sometimes need coffee. Today I have steep teas, Mango Delight green tea. This is an older package. They've changed their packaging since I bought this, but I don't even know if they still make this flavor, but it's very nice. I used to like black tea mostly, but now I've really been I find it kind of bitter now, and so I'm more of a green tea drinker. So anyways, my good friend and neighbor Lisa sells Steep Tea, which is a Canadian company. I'm going to do a little plug here, and I'll put it in the show notes. Canadian company, they sell all loose leaf teas, all natural flavors. They were a huge success story on Dragon's Den a few years ago, and after getting some boost from
Marlene.
No, it was David Chilton and Jim. I can't remember. Yeah, so they paired up and invested in them, and they had like 1,800% growth in their next year. Like, it's amazing. They've actually gone into the United States now. So it's all loose leaf teas.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they are done via network marketing. So yeah. And it's they do home shows. You see them at the different sales and fairs with tables, kind of like Tupperware, and excellent teas. They've got all kinds. I'm also a David's tea fan, and I have a few favorite flavors of those. And you stopped and picked up tea on the way, Starbucks. but you put it in one of my mugs. Okay, so tea break, cat attention break, and we're back. So we've talked about finished objects. What's in progress? Works in progress. Whips on our needles.
I have that sweater. I bought this silk, and it's
Wait.
No, okay.
We have one more finished thing you have to show.
What?
Your sweater.
Oh, my
Shauna's
sweater. I traded it for a freezer.
The freezer sweater.
I know, this is my freezer sweater. It's, you know what?
You
I
might
have
have to
the yarn
stand
to
up
make a
and show
new
us.
one, and I have to stand up.
Yeah.
Just don't laugh at my little cushion on the chair there.
So she made this sweater for herself. And then our friend Shauna, who is always freezing, and we did teach her to knit. She actually has knit a few things, and she still continues to knit. She saw it and wanted it. And Lisa was supposed to be buying a freezer off of her, so they did a trade. Nice.
Yeah,
So it's no buttons, it's just open front.
Yeah, it's just kind of reminds me of
Pocket.
Nice Lanky.
Yeah.
It's got a hood.
A nice hood. And what's it called? What was the pattern?
It's sugar coated.
Sugar coated?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be in our project notes or our show notes.
Oh, I can't write this.
And you're two more, but you got the two gone. And you're making another one.
I have to. I love this sweater.
Same
so
color?
much. Same color. Same yarn. Same
So
everything.
Shauna gets that one to take it
we're
halfway
going
across
to-
the world.
When we hang together, we're going to be dressed the same.
That's all right.
So yeah.
Yeah,
But it's okay.
You'll be fashionable.
You know what? It's such a great sweater. It's like wearing a big blanket. It's not the most flattering cut, but it's the coziest.
It's a nice warm sweater.
It's nice.
And so you have another sweater on the go.
I do.
Do you have it here?
I do actually. I have it's the silk one.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the Roslyn silk?
Yeah.
Okay, so I started this sweater. I started another sweater, different pattern, probably about 4 times because I absolutely love this yarn. Love it, love it, love it. It feels really nice. And they took my knitting needles from in Cuba. But
Oh yeah. Okay. So people who travel, side diversion here. People who travel, knitters who travel. I take knitting all the time. I don't yet have very expensive needles, and so but I have heard that sometimes they can get taken away. So I usually take something small, like double points or a small circular, and then if I have to bring other stuff.
These ones weren't bad. They weren't.
Yeah.
They were cheap needles. It was just.
But I've never had a
about
problem.
that much done of it.
I've never had a problem.
Yeah, neither have I until that point. That was the only.
But you got all the way to Cuba.
I got 2 Cuba.
With them, no
with
problem.
them, and I worked on a plane.
Mm.
I called TSA. They said they were fine, and like, okay, fine. And then I got to Cuba, and they took them from me
On your way back.
on the way back. But my mom, who had the exact same needles, had
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah, she was behind. Same line.
Same line.
Same
everything.
security agent. Just didn't think you should be knitting.
Craziness looking at me. So yeah. So anyways, I started this sweater, and I liked the pattern that I was originally doing, but it wasn't suited for the yarn. I think that what I needed was more of a stitch definition for the pattern to make me happy, to make me happier.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to make this one, which is more of a. It's
and
called
roll.
James, and it's by Amy Miller, and it's got more of a drape to it because it's got a really nice drapey sweater feel
Really
to it,
nice.
kind of like a sweatshirt feel. It doesn't hang. You can't hold it up really well because I actually do my sleeves 2 at a time.
Oh, I can turn it around and they can see.
Yeah, so there's my sleeves 2 at a time.
So this is the top down.
Yeah, it's top down. So yeah, just gotta finish my sleeves and I'll be done.
So the awesome thing about that is your sleeves are going to be the exact same length when you're done.
Yes.
Because I'm a little particular about even socks. Most people just measure with a measuring tape. Hello, easy button.
Don't you?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll talk about socks. I do. I like them to be the same. Because if they're not, if I'm off by like a couple rows and I can, it feels looser, it'll bug me out if one foot
I'm
feels
more
different.
of a process knitter. Like I like the knitting part.
Yeah.
I don't like to have to think about it forever and think about it a lot.
But 2 at a time is great because you don't have to count, measure, like you're done. Like well, you have to measure.
Don't increase enough on one, you don't increase enough on the other.
It'll be the same either way.
So.
Lovely. So this is Rosalind
Yes.
by Cascade.
Yeah.
Do you have a ball?
I do.
It's a really nice feel. It's heavier than fingering, right? Or is it fingering? A little
No,
heavier.
it's actually
Is it a DK?
a light DK.
Yeah. And so
sport.
yeah, but it's very light and it's got nice drape and it doesn't feel bulky.
Yeah, and it wasn't the yardage on it is huge.
Because how many do you need for this sweater?
This would be ball 4.
Oh, gosh. That's really good.
So I still have...
We have a few friends.
a little on the other one.
So this is your 5th?
No, that's ball 4.
This is ball 4, and you're almost done. So you should only need 4.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a few friends that have done sweaters in different sweaters and different...
4 or 5 of them at
Yeah.
the same time.
Plus Lynn's dress.
Yeah,
Is Rosalind. So lots of people are using this yarn for especially garments, and it's beautiful, and it's 65% wool, 35% silk.
And it's great.
And it feels really, and it's great. I think everything that they order in to have it is handmade, they have to order gray.
At least one.
Yeah, they know their customers. Okay, what else? You got that hat that you showed earlier.
Yeah, and this one here is you can't really see it, so I don't know if I should.
No one can see it because it's way down there. Hold it up.
Okay, so it's just a color work Jameson. It's the same. It's the same one I'm doing for my daughter. I'm doing a gray and white for me.
The snowflake one?
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing another one.
Yeah. So
Nice. Okay, so there's.
My daughter thinks it's cute.
It's color work, so it's got like smaller snowflakes that go around and some stripes, and then the crown when it decreases, there's a big snowflake right on the crown. Yeah, and it's a beautiful pattern, and we'll make sure we put that in the show.
Yeah.
So this is all your Jameson and Smith. Yeah. So this is the stuff that feels a little coarser to me, but you and everyone assures me that it softens up with wash.
It does soften.
And I think I should work
I'll
in
find that other
So
one once
I
you
want to
get
feel the one that you finished and
it.
see. Because you do get amazing stitch definition with it, and it just looks like
And it kind of,
a really good quality hand knit.
oh, it's beautiful. It's great stuff to work with if you don't mind.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. And that's it?
But that's it.
Anything else?
That's it.
I have, I have a bunch of hibernating projects, but ones that I'm actively trying to finish are
The socks.
Shauna's socks. So, oh yeah, we didn't talk about these finished ones.
Those are cute.
So I just finished the Rose City Rollers, which I always want to call Bay City Rollers because my brain gets stuck there. But my Rose City Rollers. So it's a shorty sock, no ribbed cuff, yay! And you just start knitting for like, I don't know, 1.5 inches, and then it rolls over, and then you do your heel and carry on. So this is in the yarn again that Sonia made for me, Totally Inked Yarns in the speckle, summery speckle. And I'm gonna go zoom in because you can really see all the colors in the finished project. It's gorgeous. And so I finished those. I wanted to do a pair for the Grocery Girls May sock bash. So you have to start and finish a pair of adult socks in the month of May.
Those are kind of cheating.
Why? No, and lots of people did short socks. The other thing is, so you get an entry. They have a giveaway. So if you have knit a pair of socks in May, go ahead and enter your finished object before the end of the month. And they have giveaways. And they have May has a sub-theme of flowers. So if the yarn name or the colorway name or the pattern has something to do with flowers, you get to enter it twice. So you get a second chance. So I was wanting to make Rose City Rollers, and I wanted to make shorty socks for summer. So I got 2 entries for this, and I just finished them and just posted it on the thread yesterday. Yeah. And then the other socks I have going, I use DPNs a lot if I'm doing socks. I don't mind DPNs because I learned to knit on them. But because this is a pattern sock, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's got kind of like a faux, well, that's not bad, hey? It's showing it. Like a faux cable. It's a yoga sock, so it's just got the patterning around the leg and then on the top of the foot, and then I just did like a 6x1, 5x1. She called them her sexy flash dance socks. So I made a pair for a friend, and I got Shauna to put them on so I could take a picture. And she had like her toenails done, and she has nice feet, and I have like horrible hobbit big feet. So I said to put these on so I can take a nice picture, right? And then she's like, I love these, I want some. So she came over and wanted some flash dance socks.
Some sexy socks. And
I pulled out some stuff in my stash and said, okay, pick something you like. So she picked
I know, that's too funny.
Manos del Uruguay Peacock. So this is an anniversary color.
That was the one I was thinking.
Yes. And she picked it. And the one in my stash, I handpicked from a bunch of skeins.
I remember that day. That took a while.
Yeah. And I wasn't the only one. A bunch of us bought some. No. I said you can't use that. That's mine.
Yeah.
But I knew that Heaven is Handmade had ordered some in. So I knew that they had some. So I went and I said, I'll get you some. And I bought a skein from them. And so there is, the yarn it's mostly blues and greens. Lovely, rich teal color. And then there's a little splash of kind of a magenta purple in it. And so the purple just shows up as little flecks. You can kind of see, where's my finger? Just right here, there's a few. So it's gorgeous. And Manos del Uruguay Alegria sock yarn is probably, if not my favorite right now, among my favorite sock yarns. It's so soft. They're lying about the content. There has to be cashmere in here. Like, it is so, this is the nicest superwash merino nylon.
Yeah, no,
like it's
nice.
like
I have the bright
Sweet Georgia one. Sock is very much like this. Oh yeah, I have a few other ones too. Yeah. So anyway, so then I went back and bought 2 more because they still have them, and you know it's not going to be recreated. It's a special anniversary edition, so I had to get more because once I saw it done in socks, I'm like, they're beautiful. You can't see the colors here. It doesn't do it justice. It is so rich. It's such deep color, and so her second sock is coming along. It's about 25% done. Okay. Yeah. And I'm going to enter these. Just 1 second. Okay. Husband came home. I had to tell him, okay, recording session live. Like, just hush, please. He did not go out for lunch today. So there's nothing flower themed about these. So I'm not going to enter these in the Grocery Girls if I finish them before the end of May. However, Honeybee, the Honeybee Knits podcast has a knit along right now going on for socks that you're allowed to use. Oh, these I started, I think, before the end of, or after the beginning of May anyways, I think. But you're allowed to use whips on this one, and you have to be done by June 15th. So I'm going to do the Rose City Rollers on there as well as these, because I will finish them by June 15th, because she moves right around then. Okay. So they have to be finished. 17th. Yes, she's counting down the days. So I have those on the go. I have, talk about, okay, I have a hat. I have a hat on the go. So I went to her, though. No, it actually is. It's my baseball hat. We went to baseball with the first night of baseball. Oh, right, it was so cold, and we're sitting out in that big field, right? And it's so windy and cold. And I did bring sock knitting, but I thought it's too cold to knit socks. My hands are gonna be too cold. I need something else. So I've been meaning to make a hat to match some mitts that I made, and there isn't a pattern for these. I just made it up, but it's just got a cable up the hand. I have to tear out the thumb because I hate the thumb. I may have to tear them all back because the thumb gusset is way too big. Like, look at all this extra fabric. Right? Yeah. It's bugging me. It was way too big. So I didn't finish the thumb on the other mitt, but I bought extra yarn later. I was able to find some to do a hat. So I'm doing a hat, and I've got 4 of the same cable twists around the hat. I'm just doing it magic loop. Not great visual on this, but
that color does not show at all.
No, it's purple. It's dark plums and purples, almost brownish purple. Yeah, it's beautiful. So it's really nice yarn. This is Charlie by Filatura de Crossa, I think is how you say it. And yeah, so I take this to baseball knitting when it's too cold. And my plan was to finish it right away and wear it for baseball, even though I don't like hats, but it's just so cold at baseball sometimes, out in that big field. It gets some days when you get the wind off the lake here.
I know, it's cold.
Yeah.
Very cold.
Yeah. I have a few other things. I have a shawl on the go, which I'm not going to show this episode because it is a gift for someone who may or may not watch this episode, so I don't want them to see it. But I do have a shawl on the go, and I can't wait to talk about it. It's in yarn by Total Inked Yarns, and I love it. I love how it's working up. May have to make another one for me. And so that's on the go. And of course I have other socks on the go. I've got some 2 at a time socks. I don't know if I have them here. I've got a couple pairs that kind of got to the point. I was knitting them in the winter, and they got to the point where I got to the heel. So I'm 2 at a time, and I got to the heel. So I just kind of stopped because then I have to sort of, focus.
Think about it.
Yeah, I have to think about it some more. So I need to get past the heels, and then it can be a take anywhere project.
I have to show you these ones. I think these are so cute.
Those are really cute.
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing a different color heel.
Yes, I am.
Okay. can't. You have to show these. Do you want me to hold and you can talk?
Okay, so flip them around. These are the what is this guy's names again? Arnie and Carlos colorways. I know they're all tangled because I'm not.
Because you're doing the heel.
Flat,
okay,
right?
I'll kind of hold it like this.
So I think they're so crazy. I actually know a lady. I was knitting them when I was waiting in a waiting room, and she says, "Oh," she couldn't believe how often I changed colors. And when you look at them, there's actually a crazy design. Now, I'm a little crazy because some people like their socks to match.
Oh yeah, but look how much these match.
But
they're pretty. But they're pretty close. They're off just by a little bit.
I know, but on one ball I took from one end and the other ball, yeah. So they don't match.
See, mine, I'd have to like start them at the same spot.
I'm okay with that. That makes I have coordinating socks.
I'm not there yet.
I have coordinating.
Mine have to match, and I have to count the rows so they're the exact same length.
I have so many socks.
When it's a pattern,
I'm going to die before I finish.
Yeah, well, of course. When it's such a defined pattern like this, for me, I like them to match. Yeah. So depending on what, it would depend on the pattern.
I just thought I would add a really cute orange.
The contrast, yeah, love that.
Because there's a little bit of orange to kind of pick up. But
totally.
Yeah, it's kind of. Totally. I just couldn't get over the difference in how they did the
These are really nice, and it's almost like a jacquard style. Look at this blue row.
Yeah.
I'll hold it up a bit. It's not even. Okay. It looks like little waves.
Yeah.
Really pretty. So what yarn is this?
That is it's from, I believe, Regia, but it's the
Regia?
Arnos and Carlos. The guys
it's a special.
It's a special color edition.
Okay.
I got these for Christmas, and I actually got this colorway, a blue colorway, and a red colorway. My daughter thought they were kind of, I would like them, so yeah.
It's nice, a nice feeling yarn too.
That's nice.
So you have them 2 at a time?
Always.
Always 2 at a time. 2 at a time, 2 needles.
The first time I did it, I hated it. But I know that I have second sock syndrome, which is why I don't knit mine the same.
Yeah.
If the colors are off, then I can convince myself it's a different sock. But this is amazing. Mm-hmm. Don't try it twice.
What size needles are these?
And on the third time, I think they're 2.5.
Big. Okay.
No, they're 3s. I'm tight knitter.
Okay.
So the third pair that you do on 2 at a time is the one that decides whether you're gonna like it or not.
Yeah, 2 at a time, 2 needles, not magic loop. Do you ever do magic loop?
I don't know how to describe this, but I'm the type of person where I like the fronts on one and the backs on another. Mm-hmm. It just allows me not to think about it.
Yeah, and yeah. So I have done, because you were the one who told me to try it. I did try 2 at a time on 2 needles. So this is an oops, because the first time I tried, the pattern I picked was, it's one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I think. I'll look up when I can look it up and put it in show notes. It's not complete, but I started this one pattern, and not thinking it's a solid yarn, but it's got a pattern in it, and I didn't realize that the right and the left, they're like mirrored, so they're different. So I do the ribbing, and I get to the pattern, and I'm like, oh, the right, it's like a rib that kind of moves. So it goes one way on the one foot and the other way on the other foot. And I'm like, oh crap, like they're not identical. So trying to keep track.
What you should do then is make 2 identical.
And then
right, and then make 2 left.
Blah. That's 4 socks the same. No. So I thought, I'll just keep track of it, and I'll put a marker on which is the right foot and which is the left foot. No, I did about 2 inches. I did get through a little bit of it, and then it was just like, this is just a nightmare, and it's so slow because I have to keep checking. So I stopped, and my plan was to put them on double points and finish, and then I just don't really like them. I think it's the color of yarn. I like the pattern. So they're just not doing anything, and I have to tear them out. So I have since done 2 at a time, 2 needle. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Especially, it's great for a pattern. It's great for a vanilla.
You do a lot of designs on your socks.
I have done a few.
I don't like designs.
You like vanilla socks.
I don't like designs. I like color.
Yeah.
I like I'm fine stripes.
Lately,
like
the ones I've been doing lately have design.
I don't like them when I wear them. Like when I wear
them,
I don't
like
the feel on them, right? I don't like the feel of them. So
yeah. So it's awesome, definitely for vanilla socks.
This is twisted because I'm doing that.
Yeah, because you're working on that one right now. So you're going back and forth on that one. Weird. Get that out there. And I also have done 2 at a time magic loop. which I like. I didn't think I would. Because in my head I was thinking, like when you do a hat, right? I was thinking I'm always going to be pulling that loop out and moving it. No. With socks, you do the fronts.
It's similar to that.
Right? So you have, and it's best to wind your yarn onto 2 balls, or if it comes in 2 balls. But if it's a big skein, wind it onto 2, so you have a separate thread for each sock. But you do the fronts, and then your loop turns, and you do the backs. So you're not moving that loop. It's actually not annoying at all, and very quick, and I love that too. I love my double points. I don't have really one favorite. I don't mind double points at all. I do like, right now I'm using the cubics, the sort of it's like a rosewood.
Double point?
Yeah.
I didn't like them when I tried them for circular.
I haven't tried circulars. I've only got them in double point. I like it.
I find that because your needles actually spin in your hand. And I found that the cord was getting really, really twisted. Because circles will twist in your hand while you're knitting, right?
Okay. And they need to make like a pivoting join. Almost. I think there's a brand that does that. I can't remember which one. So
I'm an Addie's.
Yeah, so you have Addie's. Yeah. I just bought, as we're talking about new things, I have not tried them yet. I bought the Taigu, and I did buy another pair of Knitter's Pride in a 2.0 millimeter, because I like my socks to fit snug, and I'm not a loose knitter. I think I'm just in the middle, but I'm not a tight knitter. So 2.5s on me. Well, I can reduce the stitch count, but I thought I went to a 2.25 and like those, and so I'm going to try 2.0. So I bought a 40-inch 2.0 so I can do magic loop. And then I found...
Now, do you find these feel loose or they?
No. So it's just you're a tighter knitter.
I'm a very tight knitter.
But I've cut back on my stitches. Like my Rose City rollers, I cast on 64 on a 2.25. And after the gusset, that's on a 2.25. So that's a little bit tighter stitch. And after the gusset, I did an extra decrease, 2 of them. Okay, so I went down to 60 stitches for the rest of the foot.
Not that nice.
Yeah. So it's still, I must be loose enough that it's forgiving. But I like my socks to fit snug, like not so tight that you have to stretch them all distorted, but snug, like not sloppy. Yeah. So I did recently get some Chagu, and I've got a 40-inch 2.0. I think I bought 2 of them. No, I have 2 40-inch 2.25, so I can do 2 needle, 2 at a time. And then I have a single 40-inch. Are these the same length? Yeah, a single 2.0. So I've got some 2.25s, which I love, and a 2.0 to try in these. So I've not tried these yet. These are the red lace, and I've heard they're good.
How are the tips?
I don't think they're. Well, these ones look pointy, but then they're also really small because they're 2.0. So I don't know. I haven't tried them in 2.5.
Is I push with my fingers.
Yeah, so you might get sore fingertips. Yeah, so I'm going to give those a try on the next socks I cast on. I don't want to change mid-project and do one sock at a different needle because it may affect my tension. But, I mean, I love I love GPNs. It just depends what I'm doing. So I do have a couple pairs on the go right now. What else do I have on the go? Oh, so I mentioned I do a little bit of crochet. I haven't in a while.
Beautiful. This is beautiful.
I haven't in a while, but some friends from the yarn shop, they started a crochet along class, and I was helping my friend Lynn just select colors. She had a lot of worsted in her stash that she wanted to use up, so I was helping her select colors. And then I got thinking, I kind of like this. Maybe I should do it. I wasn't thinking. I stopped thinking because it's just, I love it, but it's going to be a big project. So we are doing Mandala Madness. I keep going to the wrong side of me. We are doing Mandala Madness. Do you want to pull that side out? So you can use as many or as few colors as you want. You can do it in one color.
Isn't the crochet the lady that's in charge of it, Amy?
Amy, who's leading the group, is an amazing crocheter. Like, just amazing. She's done so much. She teaches all the crochet classes at Heaven is Handmade. And wow, she is doing it in a fingering weight. In a ombre, gradient ombre, like it goes from hot pink to
blue to cream,
there's some turquoise to purple.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and then when she ran out of the first skein, she then joined whatever color it ended with. She pulled from the other end of the ball on the next ball to have it keep going. So hers is stunning in the fingering weight. She's doing that as an example. So this is going to be for our spare room, and I picked out, they're not showing, this is like a deep red, and this is a very deep purple, and there's golds. I picked out colors that are in our spare room, in the paintings and in the other stuff that I have in there for decor. And
that would be great, white and black.
I know, yeah, but that would look amazing. So I'm behind because I've missed a couple classes and I've been finishing other knitting and gardening, and so I'm a bit behind. But this thing, when it's done, is supposed to be 7 feet in diameter if done in worsted. So it's going to be massive.
It's supposed to be
that
big.
So it's at the point where it's not a take somewhere project. First of all, because the pattern changes every row, so you have to count stitches. And I actually have to count each section to be sure I got the right number. Because if I get on the next row and my count is off, depending on what you're doing, you can kind of fudge it and keep going. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to be fudging all the time. So I am being very cautious and counting, which slows me down. And, it's not just a single crochet and everything. There is some kind of a pattern. Did I just about whack you? There's a pattern for every row, and it's really cool because I am learning so many new stitches and trying new things I've never done. I just sort of did basic crochet before, so it's really cool.
I asked her, she said she might do a class for little stuffies for me.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Those little amigurumi.
I cannot say it.
Okay, those little stuffies.
What do they got?
She was supposed to be doing a crochet shawl class.
Did you see the ones? Yeah.
So you can check with Heaven is Handmade if you're interested in that class. Check on their website, their website or their Facebook page. Reach out to them if you're interested in doing that. Okay. It was a lace shawl. It was really pretty.
You won't eat my yarn, right?
Hang on. Okay, so that's my return to crochet. And then at the Crochet Along class on Saturday, one of the participants mentioned a crochet shawl pattern that she saw that has all kinds of different stitches. So of course, it's kind of neat. So there may be a crochet shawl in my future. Speaking of crochet, I was thinking about crochet I'd done in the past, and I went down to it was in storage, but I found some baby blankets I did for Jack. So this is really cute. It's just a little shell pattern, and it's just a little this way, very small, but it's just a little baby blanket. And then I did the typical standard granny square. Yeah, it's in like a pale blue, pale green. It was very pretty. So I just washed those up because they were kind of stale smelling, and they're way too small for him now, but kind of cute. And I used to do, I have a bunch of pattern books they were called Mile a Minute, and you did these long strips. So it almost looked like, some of them looked like granny square down the middle, but a big long strip, and then it was like an oval. So you got to the end, and you went around and came back, and it was these long strips, and then you had to join them together in long strips. So yeah, I did a bunch of those a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Was that all we were going to talk about with works in progress? Yeah. I think so. That's enough. I have, like I said, a bunch that are hibernating, and when I return to them, then I can bring them up, but they're really not being worked on. So.
Do you want to talk about what we have coming up?
Yeah. What do you have coming up?
Well, we have that field trip.
We have a field trip. Okay.
Let's go with the first field trip, May 31st.
Okay. So we are so excited. I'm so excited. So yay, we're excited.
We love field trips.
We love field trips. And if you live somewhere where you don't have a local yarn shop,
we're lucky.
We are lucky. And southwestern Ontario. Okay, I grew up in northern Manitoba, where you're hundreds of kilometers from anything. So if you don't have something local, you're far away. They actually do have a very nice craft shop there now that carries some yarns. But if you don't have a local yarn shop or somewhere to hang out, turn it into a road trip if you can. Get some friends together, look up where there are yarn stores in nearby, driving distance, and go on a road trip. And we've done that a number of times, gone for a day and hit, 1 or 2 and sometimes 3. When we went to Toronto.
When we went to the Japanese Cultural Center, we hit that one.
Yeah.
Then we hit Romney, we hit America, we hit...
We did, okay, so Toronto, we left early in the morning. This is a whole day. We didn't sleep anywhere. We just got up early. We did Toronto. We were there for opening. We were there till lunchtime because we brought our lunches. Yeah. So we were there for a few hours. Then you took us to Queen Street. We went to Romney. Oh my gosh.
That's a trick.
You could spend probably a week in there. It's like going to the Louvre Museum. It's like, Romney's huge. So we went to Romney, that was overwhelming for me because I didn't have anything in mind. So I like going to yarn shops and I'll just browse and I'll look at things. You can't do that. It's like Costco with yarn. So you don't browse.
She's like a deer in the headlights.
It was crazy. I actually was feeling a little bit, anxious.
Holy cow. And we did go to America.
And we went to America. Now they've closed.
Really nice stuff.
Yeah. They've closed their bricks and mortar store. They are online only now, but they were open when we went there. And they have beautiful yarn and it's all their own and they're limited colorways. Like it's just whatever they have.
I found they're very muddy. They're very much my
very
colors.
subdued. Yes.
Very subtle colors.
And very natural looking. I did buy a skein of sock yarn that I was gonna knit some socks for my husband maybe someday if he'll wear them. It's kind of a tweedy looking, like a dark bluey gray.
Right.
Yeah. So we bought some yarn there, and then because that wasn't enough, what did we? Did we stop somewhere on the way home?
I thought we stopped at Lancaster.
No, it was closed.
That's right.
Well, I think they were at the show.
So they were closed.
We drove by.
Yeah.
We sort of stalked them. So we drove by it and said, okay, that's where the store is.
Yeah.
That was the Needle Emporium.
Didn't we go to IKEA?
Then we went to IKEA. We probably stopped at Costco too, because Okay, so that's what you do when you go on a road trip. Take your cooler bags, stop at Costco if you don't have one in town.
Exactly.
So that was a full day, but it was a good day.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Remember we had to keep moving where we parked.
My feet were aching.
Yeah.
My dogs were barking.
There's nothing like driving a pickup in downtown Toronto.
Oh yeah, big pickup. So we had to park. Oh. A big pickup.
And you were worried I couldn't do it.
That's not a bad word. They say it on TV now. That's not terrible. We don't want to get like bad ratings because we use bad words. But in real life, we're fluent in bad words. So
fluent sailor.
Fluent in sailor. So that was a good day. When we've done other little trips, like we go to Little Red Mitten in St. Thomas.
That's a great store.
Yeah. There's a group of us here who get together.
About 4 or 5 of us.
Yeah.
Usually 4 or 5, and you might take 2 or 3 or whatever.
We just sort of see who can go.
Somebody. So today there's 3 of us. Sorry,
Wednesday.
There's 3 of us going to.
So
what's the store? Knit
Stitch in London. Today for us is Monday. I don't know when we'll get this uploaded. Hopefully soon, but just so you know. So Wednesday in 48 hours we will be hopping in the car. 2 days, and we are going to Knit Stitch in London because there is a new podcast that I just started watching called The Fiber Friends.
Funny.
They're really good. It's 3 ladies from
the
London. I know. Sorry.
Watch it, you'll get it.
There's 3 ladies from the London area, and there's they all knit and do other. I think there's some crochet going on, and Caroline also does beautiful embroidery and cross stitch.
One does embroidery, the other does cross stitch.
I think Caroline does both, but
Yeah.
And
when I watched it, the one had beautiful cross stitch. Adrian, is it? Yes. Adrian.
And she's the dyer.
She's
and then there's and the third woman she makes bags, project bags, and she knits, and she teaches, and she has done her own.
I thought the girl that did the bags was the one that's a the embroider with the curly
hair.
Yes. And the one
the
in
other
the middle,
one, the one in the middle,
teaches.
She teaches, and she has written her own patterns.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, she usually teaches with her own patterns, she said. So they have a new podcast, and they are launching a little business venture. They are going to be selling kits that will include a bag, a skein of yarn that has been dyed to match the bag, and a pattern. Yeah. And so they're launching these on Wednesday at Knit Stitch. We're going. We are going, and we are getting a kit. And we are going early. We're going to have our noses up against the glass, waiting to get in, because we are going early. We want to get seats. And it's their normal knit night. I think the last Wednesday of the month, Knit Stitch does knit nights. So we're going to take our knitting, and we're just going to go and hang out. And it's a really nice little store. I've been there twice.
Regular knit night for us can be quiet.
Yeah. It's she's got fabric. So if you are a quilter or any other fabric craft, she has beautiful fabrics. And she has a really nice selection of yarn. I bought Hedgehog, the orange stuff that I made Jack socks with. I picked that up there.
Yeah. That was really neat.
And I know she's got Tosh, and I think Tosh, and I think There might be some Manos. And I know she's had Rowan. I picked up some Rowan there in the past. So yeah, really nice selection of yarns. And so we're going to hang out their knit night and meet the ladies from the Fiber Friends podcast. And it was so awesome because I discovered their podcast kind of around the time when you and I started talking about doing a podcast. So it was really nice to just see people near us.
Drop it on me.
I kind of sent her a note. Hey, can you keep a secret? I think we should do a podcast. So it didn't take her long.
No, it didn't take her long. It was just she had been thinking about it. And I
think it's more fun when you have another person.
Yeah.
If I was by myself, I wouldn't want to do it. I would, and I don't know if I'd want to do it myself. So it's fun when you have another person, and then and we're very different style. Well, not style. Different. You do you do sweaters. I've done a kid sweater. I don't do sweaters for myself yet, although I think I want to.
Well, there's also different things. Like I guess I should probably explain this. I don't like sewing. Mm-hmm. I understand that certain garments need the sewing for the structure, but if there's sewing involved, I'm not doing it.
And I don't mind the sewing.
It will sit in my closet forever, and I know that. And that might be, I don't know whether you want to call that a weakness or
no. It's actually kind of no.
It's that's me. I would never finish it.
But you've come up you like top down construction.
Either top down or bottom up.
But you have come up you know how now you've experienced enough. Yeah. Like you do the sleeves 2 at a time. So there's a sweater, a baby sweater I'm doing for a gift. Yeah. And it was knit flat, right? And then the sleeves were supposed to be knit flat and sewn and then, whatever, or joined.
Good job of that.
Yeah, but it was her idea. So she told me how to first of all, do the sleeves in the round. And then how to join them where I'm at that point in the body. And then, so I knit, add the sleeve, keep going, add the sleeve, because the body's all in one piece. It's a cardigan. And then keep going. So then it's all going to be in one. So I actually have finished, I'm at the top. I finished the top and I'm doing the buttonhole band, which I have a question for you too.
Right now?
And we can do it right now. Okay. Actually, okay.
Here we go.
I have the sweater here, but it's such a mess. There's ends and everything. So I wanted to do, here's.
Oh, you were having problems with
I did the button band.
Okay.
And this is really hard too. Okay, so here's the cute little sweater. It's so cute. So I did the buttonhole band. Okay. And then I wanted to do, I had to tear it back because I had too many stitches. So I want to do I-cord bind off because I love I-cord bind off after having learned how to do it.
I know, right?
So my question is, I'm going to come up the one side.
Okay.
And if I go around the neck and come back down the other side, my stitches go up on this side and go down on that side. A person like me, it matters.
Then what you can do.
So I could go to the middle.
I would go to the middle, right?
Of the back of the neck.
Oh, yeah. I would go to the middle and I hold your stitches. Okay?
Yep.
And then
then come
the
up
way and graft them.
And you can't. I think I saw a video that you can graft. I-cord bind up. So I'm thinking I wanted to check with you and make sure you knew that was possible. Yeah, no. So I think I'm going to do that. So this has to get done.
Even things like if you, say for example, you couldn't find the thing to graft it or you had a hard time.
Right.
You could actually just
seam it
there
it's just the edge.
Because it's right at the back and that makes sense to have like a little seam there.
So it's just a cute little sweater. It's got like a little picot edging. It's hard to, you can kind of see. Picot edging that kind of, it's really cute.
Well, even things like
and some garter stitch in a
you're
solid.
Graft the underarms, right? Graft them.
Yeah, where I did this one. Look at that. You'll be proud. Wait, where's the inside? Done.
Oh, that's awesome. Good job.
So I joined the sleeve to the body. So like I said, you come across the front, go around joining. No, you didn't join. I had to join a few stitches. Then I knit around the sleeve. Then I kept going. Then I joined the next sleeve. I'm off the screen so you can't see me. But it basically went like this, like a 2-hump camel, right? Like it went sleeve, back, sleeve, other front. So I had a little wee hole under the sleeve and I just grafted it together. And so there's no seam and there's no, bumpy seam. I don't think a 12-month-old baby's going to care. But on the inside, it's just very clean and tidy looking. The armhole there's no seam. So this was all Lisa's help. That was really, so now I know what to do to finish it. So hopefully next one I will have that done. I need to have it done.
When I did it top down,
Mm-hmm.
they tell you, you have to add a certain amount on the side and then a certain amount. Okay, so are you cast off a certain amount?
Right.
Okay. So what I actually do is I don't cast off.
Look how clean that is.
What I do basically is I will get cast off with spare, like I'll knit across them and put them on spare yarn.
That's what I did. You told me to do that.
I will knit them, and then I'll start the spot. And when it comes time for me to do the sleeves, I will actually take it out and I will pick them up and I'll knit it that way, so I never have to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever I did, I didn't do any cast off either. No. So I had no seaming to do under my sleeve, and that was all your help.
That's basically why I do that. Is basically I knit it across and I put it on spare yarn, and then when it comes time to do the sleeves, and they tell you to grab the sleeves and then pick up the same amount, I just pick them up and off I go.
Okay.
And it's just one of those things where it looks nicer because I don't think you would ever get it that smooth if you grafted it. And
really nice.
I'm lazy.
I can't even tell.
I don't have to think about
beautiful.
It. It's all good. We're making a mess
we're getting close to being done, which is good because this is really long, and I think there's a good 2-hour limit to how long a podcast can be. So we talked about our upcoming road trip. Mm-hmm. We have another road trip planned in June with another one of our friends, Noelle.
We should keep that one quiet.
Okay.
Till we get there.
Okay. Shh. We do have another road trip planned somewhere I've never been.
I've never been there either.
It's a little further away. It's going to be a couple hours in the car each way. So we're going to be doing another road trip we'll talk about later. Yes. So Kitchener-Waterloo Knitters Guild. It's in September. It's September 9th this year. Mm-hmm. I have been to that one once. I went last year for the first time. It's fantastic. It's in the Kitchener Odd, which is 2 arenas, like hockey arenas, right? But there's 2 of them, and then it's massive. But there's lots of space. Like it's well laid out. There's lots of room to move because there are a lot of people.
They used to have it at Binghamton's, and when it was at Binghamton's, it was too crowded. You could barely move and stuff. Like I think you can actually bring strollers.
Oh yeah.
It was so
It's
hard.
easy to get around in there.
I took Keegan when she was a baby,
and
I
loved it. There's a lot there.
Stroller.
So that's coming up September 9th. I'm mentioning it now because they have just announced that Lily Chin is going to be their speaker in the afternoon. And I looked on their website yesterday, and they had mentioned a workshop in the morning. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't say what. And I don't know.
Workshops on Sundays, don't they?
They don't do it.
On Sunday?
That one doesn't do 2 days. Okay. Unless it's new this year. I don't think they were 2 days last year.
Be wrong.
So it did say something about a workshop in the morning. It doesn't say what it is, or I don't know how if registration is open or what you have to do for that. Mm-hmm. I think it starts like a half hour after the market opens. Okay. I'm going for the market, so I don't.
I'll carry your bags.
Well, I mean, if it was later, but I want to hit that market. So last year there was a booth.
Watch out, ladies, someone's coming.
No, it's like I have to get that yarn right before someone else does. So last year we went with our friend Barb came with us, and I was at this one booth. They had beautiful yarn, and it was I think it's a silk blend, and it was just amazing. And I picked up a colorway that was very like sea foamy, like
the one you put down.
So I pick it up, and I was carrying it for a while, and there was only one, and it was very, very pale, like blue green, like a sea green, just like sea froth. It was amazing colors. And then I found a few other ones I liked, and I put that one down. Well, Barb was behind me, and she snapped it up, and she has since knit a shawl with it that is stunning. Yeah, stunning. So, and also when we were at the Woodstock last year, there was a booth, Red Sock, Blue Sock yarn, which is all hand-dyed yarn. There were amazing colorways, and they were in the main building, and then we decided to go out and go across the lot to like the barn where they have more vendors and other stuff. And so I left some there, and of course come back, and like their booth was decimated. They had a great show. There wasn't much left. I did pick up a beautiful colorway called Dreamcatcher, which I loved. I've used since. But there were a few other colors that I liked and just didn't pick up. So I know you like the scope it out, let's go look at everything strategy.
Oh no, if I like it that much, I'm picking it up.
Okay. Oh, you were just trying to
I just
keep me calm at the Toronto
there. It might be a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah. Not anymore.
Don't spend your money on the first room.
Not anymore. So now if I see something, it's like, okay, if I really like it, I'm probably just going to buy it.
And she will push me out of the way.
Trample. down in front. So
short one down.
So I mentioned that show. It's a few months away, but because they've mentioned Lily Chin, and because I did see a workshop on the agenda on their website, letting people know, because if you are interested and keep an eye on it, watch their Facebook page, or email them if you want to get in on the workshop or want to know more about it. Keep an eye on that, because I imagine that will fill up very quick. That's a big show with a lot of bodies moving around there. So they'll definitely, that's a huge show.
I always laugh because when you go there, when you go to the shows, you get a lot of women who are men. You get people
there are men.
Like knitters, and they have these beautiful things that they knit. And all I can think of is, give me a t-shirt and my running shoes. I'm
gonna be too hot. I can't wear a big sweater. Went to a yarn show. Like, I'm gonna have a hot flash in the middle of it, and I'll be sweating on my beautiful yarn, and then I look like a lunatic.
And then I have to carry everything.
And then you have to carry everything.
You know what? It's not that I don't like seeing them. I just think to myself, I
think I just wore a shawl. I'm pretty sure. I just had a scarf, because it's still warm. Like September 9th, you're going to want to be in a t-shirt.
I just wore a t-shirt.
Yeah, especially in that, when you're indoors and there's lots of people, and it can get warm.
I didn't go last year.
No, you didn't come with us. I went, though. I didn't go the year before. So it was last year was my first Kitchener show, but I have done Woodstock twice, and Woodstock is it's coming up. It's in October. We'll talk more about that for sure, because I definitely want to go to that one again. I loved it. Knit in Public Day, worldwide Knit in Public Day is June 10th.
Yes. Show your knit.
Show your knit. Get your knit on.
Make sure they don't think we're all grannies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So fed up.
If you have,
like a granny wagon.
I know. People. If you have a local yarn shop, find out if they're doing something for the event that day. If you don't, find out if there's one nearby. So I know there are a couple, like Little Red Mitten has something going on in St. Thomas. Yeah, at a brewery, at a microbrewery, right? Microbrewery. And Knit Stitch, I can't remember. They might be doing something too. So it's Worldwide Knit in Public Day. There may be events going on. And if they're not, or if you are somewhere where you can't get to them, make your own. Do something. Get a group of friends together. Go somewhere. Go, like here in Sarnia, we could go
for dinner and knit.
Go out for dinner and knit. Go to a cafe. Just get out and knit. Get out together and knit. And last year, Heaven is Handmade here in Sarnia had a really nice day. We the shop was open because it's a Saturday. Yeah. So we were outside. We brought our lawn chairs. They had the ladies, what were they? The ukuleles. Okay. Ukuleles of the lake. They had a little ukulele group playing music, and it was just nice. We all just sat outside and knit, and it's on the busy main street in Sarnia, and we're right next door to an LC.
People watch.
Yes, people watch, and we're right next door to an LCBO. Yes, so on a Saturday in June, lots of bodies walking by looking at what we're doing.
A lot of people.
Yeah, so that's what we did last year, and so do something on Knit in Public Day. Yeah. We take knitting wherever we go. Right? I knit at baseball and swimming, my son's activities.
I have in my console in my truck.
You keep a project in the car. Car knitting. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then if you ever go somewhere and you're the passenger, if you can knit in a car, which we can, keep something in there so you can always be knitting. Always be knitting, people. So those are the events coming up.
That's about all I
wanted to mention shout out to other podcasts, and then there's something else I want to mention about that. So other podcasts that I love, I know you've watched some of them. The first one I started watching, we canceled cable in March, and then I discovered, and you have no TV, so you can't watch podcasts. We can watch on your iPad.
I watch on my iPad.
So I discovered knitting podcasts. So Grocery Girls was one of the first ones.
That's a good one.
Someone told me about. Yeah, they are Canadian. They're in Edmonton. Fiber Friends, the three gals in London that just started theirs. It's really good. I watch Honeybee Knits. She's in Ohio, and she's really sweet, and I like her podcast. There's one called Hey, I'm Catherine. She's in Calgary, and she's just got a few podcasts out. She's fun to watch. I watch Hey Sister podcast, which is two sisters, and they're really adorable. Like really good knitters. And sewing. There was one episode I watched. She's wearing a dress. Okay, she made it. She sewed it, and it's like a knit, like t-shirty. Looks like that. Oh my gosh! So they're very talented. Skein Game is
very good.
Yeah, she's really interesting. She's in Calgary as well. Mean Girls are two girls in the States. I think like Seattle area. Yeah, one has two.
One has two,
Yeah,
that's
and
fine.
they are really good knitters. I don't know that they've been knitting a long time, but they are really good knitters, and I like watching them too, and just seeing what things they're trying, because they're like they weren't into socks before, so they're trying that. They are on a mission to knit every Stephen West.
It's a lot.
Who's the one? That's the Crazy Colors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's him. They're on a mission. I could be wrong, but I think it's him. They're on a mission to do every one of his shawls, like not each, but between the two of them.
Holy.
So they've already done some.
I'm not doing that with you.
And they, no, I'm not doing that either. So it's just neat to see, like, what have they done. And I wanted to mention also, a lot of these podcasters on their Ravelry groups, they do all kinds of knit-alongs that you can just, go in and join. Go in and say who you are. If you have a podcast, you can plug your podcast. Big shout out if you have a local indie dyer or someone that that you use, give them a shout out. There's so much talent and so much work, like investment in time and materials that goes into these businesses, like these indie dyers. It's just, I like to give them the recognition, and they do amazing work. So give a shout out when you use their product. So we talked about podcasts, we talked about those giveaways. Speaking of giveaways, we hope you like our podcast. And if you do, please, you can click the little thumbs up like at the bottom of the screen in YouTube. Mm-hmm. And there's a subscribe link. So click on the subscribe link, and then you can actually go into your preferences and have YouTube notify you. If not, when you go into YouTube, it will show you like kind of who's put up a new podcast from your subscriptions. So you'll be able to see when there's a new one. So go ahead and subscribe if you like us. We hope you do. And I think our next podcast we're planning to do in about 2 to 3 months. And I know, 1 second. Okay, a little bit of excitement here. There was an ant on the wall. And I saw it, and I was trying to ignore it. And then Lisa saw it. Oh, there's an ant on the wall. So we had to take care of the ant. It was moving pretty fast. It was getting hard to ignore. So we were talking about our next podcast, which will be probably in 2 to 3 weeks.
You said months, by the way.
Did I say months? We don't know how to edit yet, so we're gonna watch again, and hopefully we fix things up in the show notes. We're gonna learn how to do that. So our next podcast in 2 to 3 weeks, and we have these really cute stitch markers. They are some kind of aluminum or some kind of metal. I don't know if it's aluminum or what, but they're all like iridescent.
That's chainmail.
Yeah, iridescent colors with this little chainmail rings. Aren't those cute? Mm-hmm. They're really light. Little jingle bells. And they are locally made. The fellow's name is Randy Conrad, and it's Missing Link Chainmail, Armour, and Jewelry. And I picked these up at Heaven is Handmade, and I bought a set for myself, and I thought I'm going to get an extra set. So we're going to draw from, I think, our subscribers. Yeah. Right? So do subscribe, and then on the next podcast, we'll randomly choose a subscriber, and we'll mail these out to you. I think they're really cute. What were you laughing about?
Just
the jingling?
No, I was laughing about the armor.
Armor.
That's what we all need.
Missing Link, Chainmail, Armour, and Jewelry. So I don't know. He must make some other stuff. I'm going to look him up. And if he has an Etsy shop or a Facebook page or something, I'll link to that in the show notes, because I haven't even gone to see what else he has. I just saw these hanging on the rack at Heaven is Handmade and thought, oh, those are really pretty. Pretty. All the pretty things. Squirrel. So that's our giveaway for now. We are thinking of starting some knit-alongs. Actually, I think we will start one June 1. We'll put it up on our Ravelry group. And it's going to be a sock knit-along for June and July. We're going to do it June and July because I don't know how frequently we'll be podcasting over the summer. But so if you finish a pair of adult socks or any socks?
I'm not particular.
Go nuts. If you finish any pair of socks, or if you have second sock syndrome and you do 2 different socks, two socks. As long as you have 2 socks, then you will make a finished object thread, and you can post, when they're done, post your finished object in the thread. And at the end of July, we will do a draw, and we'll a random generator draw, and we will we'll have a giveaway for that at the end of July. So we will be putting that up on our Ravelry group. There's a couple other knit-alongs that we're thinking about doing. Lisa's
I want to
Shock.
do that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
If you know
shocking.
Lisa,
Shocking.
hat girl, sweater girl, sock girl, she actually, there's a shawl pattern that you kind of like. So she's thinking birch sap.
Yes, make
birch
sure you say
sap.
it very, very, very clearly because it comes out of something else.
You sound like you're slurring burlap or something. Birch sap. So Lisa's thinking of, okay, we'll put that in show notes. So Lisa's thinking of doing a knit along for that. So stay tuned for that, or watch our Ravelry group. And then we are also, I was thinking of doing a Love Local themed knit along, maybe over the summer, like July, August. So it'll detail, like we're still fine tuning this. So details to be determined, but I'm thinking something, you know, buy the yarn at a local yarn shop, or if it's a pattern, you know, that's something local, like just to support our local artists, or a local indie dyer. So we'll work out the details of that. But I was thinking just to Love Local, and by local we mean like any local yarn shop or
Your local.
Your local. Doesn't have to be our local. Local to you or local to somewhere, but not like big box chain store. So like not yarn from a like a Walmart or a Michael's. Nothing wrong with them. Nothing wrong with them. Just, you know, we're going to do a promote local in this case. So, you know, we realize that there are people, friends I have that may not have access to a local yarn shop or a local craft store or whatever. Don't worry. Like we'll try and have, there'll be other knit alongs, but I think we just wanted to do a Love Local themed one. So one of many knit alongs, hopefully, that we will have. And maybe a crochet along. If this crochet shawl that I mentioned happens, maybe we could just do it doesn't have to be a shawl, but I'm thinking maybe a crochet along. We'll see. But this other mandala crochet project, that's going to go all summer. Like we think it's going to go into September. Maybe. Because there's many sections. The pattern was released in sections, and there's many of them, and we're kind of just doing a little bit at a time, and I'm already behind. So we'll see how that goes. Speaking of Love Local, we have mentioned throughout the podcast some of our favorite local yarn-related businesses. So I'm doing all the talking. Do you want to mention the first one?
Heaven is Handmade, which is one of our favorite local stores. There's Sonia from Totally Inked Yarn.
Totally Inked Yarn.
And she does really great colors.
She's an indie dyer, yeah.
And Feather Your Nest, which is another local store. She does a lot of, at the back, the more luxury yarns.
Yeah.
So
she's got Hedgehog. She just brought in Shibui, Hedgehog, Tosh. I can't remember all of them. I'm drawing a blank. Okay. But she's got some nice yarns, yeah.
And Country Yarns, which is it's a cute little shop, and I think they have a farm out there.
Yeah, so Country Yarns, if you're in Sarnia and you have not gone there, it's a 10-minute drive from the edge of Sarnia. Like, just go. It's a quick drive. She's got, it's on her farm, like they live on a farm, and she has her shop attached to the back of the house. And it's a small space, but she's got a lot in there. She's got some natural fibers. She's got lots of, she's got wool. She's got wool and acrylic blends. She's a really experienced knitter, you know, so she can help you with projects and stuff. She has a lot of needles, like different types. She's got Chalgu. I don't think Haya. I know she's got Chalgu and a couple of different brands. Knitter's Pride. She's got lots of Knitter's Pride and stuff. So she had, you know, surprising amount of product and variety in a cute little shop. And if you go in the summer, they have a nice garden. Vegetables. She has a vegetable garden, and they have a little produce stand. And they'll, depending on what's ready to be picked, you can pick up stuff from her product stand.
You can take care of dinner while you're there.
You can get some fresh veggies. And sign up for her email. All of these shops, like go on their Facebook page, go on their Ravelry page, like them. If you can sign up for an email, do it. Then you're kind of in the know, and you know what's going on, and when they have sales. Oh, and the last one.
You have to wait. You didn't say much about that one.
Okay, backing up. Yeah, Heaven is Handmade. So that's our local dedicated yarn shop, and it's we hang out there regularly. Like during the week, sometimes I'll, hey, we'll go downtown. Let's go meet at the store. We just call it the store. So we go to Heaven is Handmade a lot. They have an amazing selection as well there. They've got lots of Cascade, like your good standard Cascade wool, as well as lots of superwash. Lots of Diamond, Estelle, I don't know all the brands. Do they sell Noro?
Mm-hmm.
A bit of Noro.
Yeah.
They've got Tosh. They have Manos del Uruguay, and especially they've got Maxima, Fino, Marina, which is the lace weight, and the Alegria.
Cadia too, which is nice.
Yeah, Cadia. Yes.
And the cashmere.
Yeah. Oh, they have some amazing summer yarns right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's linen blends, linen, cotton, silk, beautiful light colors for summer. They've got everything. So and they have a really nice selection of baby yarns, like acrylic and acrylic blends too. So they're not just all, it's not all high end. Like sometimes people think that, yarn shops are expensive, fancy yarns. And they have those, but they have a little bit of everything.
Yeah, see, I don't like acrylic.
No, but for people who do,
I would buy a child wash and stuff.
But for people who do, like the Cascade Pacific is I think it's a 50-50 or a 60-40 acrylic wool blend, worsted weight. It is beautiful. It is very affordable, and you get, you want to make something out of that, like whether it's a blanket, a baby blanket. You don't have to have the perception that yarn shops are all really expensive, because they are not. They have a variety for everyone. They've got any kind of tools you need. They have buttons, shawl pins, the jewel shawl pins. Oh, you should bring yours.
Yeah,
we should talk about
that.
Next time. So that's our I Love Local. One more. Because I mentioned her earlier, that the new girl in Petrolia. Yarn and whatnot. Where's her yarn? This one.
I didn't put
the blues and purples.
bag.
Yeah. So she's in Petrolia, which is like a 20-minute drive from Sarnia. And Country Yarns is carrying some of her yarn, and she is on Etsy. I think she's just a young girl who's just gotten started doing dyeing, and she's got some really nice colorways already. So there's a nice little talent building there, and check her out, Yarn and Whatnot. And that's our this week's Love Local. And then of course we venture out to the surrounding area and nearby towns, and we like to visit them too. And I think that's it. We're done. So thank you. You can't see, but she's been knitting the whole time. I can't talk and knit. I'm a hand talker. Well, so are you. But that keeps maybe I should. If I knit during the podcast,
I won't get a black eye.
You won't get a black eye. I'll keep my hands busy. So thank you very much for joining us. And we hope that you'll subscribe, and we will get our Ravelry group up, and we'll get this podcast up just as soon as we can. We don't know how to edit anything yet or do anything fancy, so it's not going to take long. I don't even know if I can bleep out my bad word. So
we're going to bleep out that word.
I don't know.
It's
not that bad. It's not that bad. People say worse. It's not that bad. We'll see. Bad word or not, we'll get this up online very quickly. So thanks again. Have a great day. Hope you create something today.
All right. Take care.
Bye.